If you think about your own drug use back then, why were you doing it? Why do you think it was attractive to you?
I don't want to make excuses for my behavior, but years later, I had to go deep inside myself and address the root causes of why I got involved into drugs and crime. And one of the things that the therapist helped me understand was that I almost got beat to death by some drunks when I was a teenager. I just passed my driver's license test, went to fill up my mum's little red car with petrol. Some drunks started to behave abusively towards me, and I thought it was brave to stand up to them, but it was a mistake. They were like big in the 20s, rugby player size. Got me on the floor, started kicking me in the head, kicking me in the body. One pulls out an iron bar, just bam, knocks me in the teeth, actually, knocking pieces of my teeth out. And all I can do is just lie there like this, in the fetal position. My whole body's going warm and numb. It got to the point where I couldn't feel the pain anymore. So I thought they'd stop hitting me. So I opened my eyes and they're still like bam, bam, hitting me. I couldn't understand why I couldn't feel the pain. I thought to myself, I started shitting myself. Honestly, I thought I was getting killed. And but I went unconscious and woke up in this pool of blood. And they smashed the car windows and my vision was blurred. I managed to drive home. Parents took me to hospital. All I was broken was my teeth. So I've got these nice veneers right here. Wow. But after that, I wouldn't go out and dance. I wouldn't talk to women. Too self-conscious. And I was really this introverted, shy person. And then the rave scene began in Manchester and Liverpool. It just hit like boom all over the country. Took ecstasy. I wouldn't stop dancing, hugging complete strangers all night long, talking to women, and it transformed me. Now, that might sound like an advertisement for ecstasy, but what actually happened was drugs became my crutch. You start out and it gets you this high and the pleasure's high, and the pain is low, but that reverses over time. So for over 10 years, I'm doing more and more drugs, mixing my drugs up, doing harder drugs. Always trying to get back to that early feeling, but I'm getting more and more addicted until I cross over into the dark side of drugs and all that shit hits the fan.
And you can never get back to those first few ecstasy feelings, right? I've heard some scientists say that over time, you build up some type of an immunity to it, that you can never actually continue taking it and get those same highs, even if you wait in between.
The very first time you take it, it's just like your system's just a virgin, and it's just like mind-blowing. But then, the pain of the side effect just rises a slight little bit every more time. And the pleasure incrementally goes down, tiny, tiny bit until they eventually cross. And I only learned this in jail because the guys in jail were at the end of that road of drug use. 2/3 had hepatitis C from sharing dirty needles. 90% were injecting heroin and crystal meth. It was really sad. Yellow jaundice skin, teeth rotting out. Now, it costs $30,000 to treat hepatitis C interferon. If the jail treated them all, the jail would go bankrupt. They would rather you just die, get a healthy prisoner on that bunk, because they get $50,000 per prisoner to house you. That's how they make their profits. So they'd say to the guys that were dying from this, you know, well, if they sued in court and got the treatment awarded to them in court, which takes years anyway, and your liver's going out by then. Some of the guys who'd sued in court and won those cases and were eligible for the treatment, the jail would then say to them, there's just one more requirement now for you to get this treatment. Stop taking the heroin. And some of them would just choose to take the heroin and die. Wow. And that's how I saw the sadness of addiction and how the pain can rise way above the pleasure and you can't stop.
Right. What's the pain when you're taking ecstasy? Like,
in the very beginning?
Yeah.
The pain was having to take a break from dancing to go to the toilet.
Right. So there is pain with an ecstasy, with a drug like ecstasy?
First time, it doesn't. The pain does not register. Right. This is what I have to explain to school kids.
Okay.
I do talks in schools across the country, and when you first take drugs, it's just fun, fun, fun. That's all you see. The pain is not going to register, but they're putting themselves on that road of drug use, which is eventually going to take them to a place where that pain is going to be rising. And if they get addicted, they can't stop. And now that's not to say that most people who try drugs are going to end up there. They're not. Most people who try weed, who try ecstasy, are going to go on to have completely normal lives and may be able to do it in moderation. but it's people like me that have got addictive personalities.
And me.
We're going to self-destruct at some point,
Right.
maybe even die.